Hein Snow is here. He does all our incredible blockout efforts. Do you guys know what blockouts are? Just waiting for people to get in here. It's the last stream of the day. My voice is kind of giving out, so you'll forgive me if I tone it down. I'm still extremely excited, and especially seeing all the old faces again. I just have to not strain my voice as much. Yeah, Hein does all the when we check size measurements for omni frames and things like that. That's what he does, and also the vehicle blockouts too for the rover and the dropship. It's good to see you, man. Strong day for video. I agree. All right, mods. What's the count now in the room? Let's see how many we get in here. It is good to see so many familiar faces. Okay, we got 18. That's a pretty good turnout. I think we had it wanes through the day, but I think what did we start at 30 something? I think we went into 30s, 20s, now we're in the teens, but I think we're going to break 20. Oh, Bunny. Yeah, she's great. How's everyone doing today? How are you feeling, Gate Striders? First one at over 50. Wow, okay. Seems like 11 o'clock is still our main slot, but I know that some people can't make that, and so these additional ones are valuable. I might do them because it people seem to appreciate it. It does take a lot out of me. You guys know when I talk in public, I'm not an extrovert, so it kind of wears me out. But anyways, there are some rules for this stream. One, we keep the chat very Ember related. We're not going to stray out of that. Any complaints belong in the complaint department. And if there are issues you are having with the build, oh, awesome, Slaya. Thank you for that upgrade to Omni Ace. You get a founder drone. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And there are two channels to report issues. One is a crash channel, and so far, I think only the crash on exit's the only one I've seen so far, but maybe you've got another one. And the other one is demo feedback, where you could put the general issues you have with the game in there. After playing it today, it's obvious that our render performance is good, which is very good. But our server performance has an issue, or there's a bug when you call down the thumper. The Tsihu act a little strange, and we don't know what's causing that yet, but we're going to look into it. But anyways, it's good to be on these cheap chats again. It's been a very long time, and I apologize for that. There has been a lot going on, and we haven't taken any, any funding for 14 months. So that's a long haul. And we also, when we dropped skins for a while, we lost some subs. And I've never asked for anyone to sub or back the game in all that time because I felt like we needed to get back to a place where I was comfortable and not taking people's money because I wanted to be in a place where we were able to consistently deliver builds again. And that's what this stream is about. We are back. The team is back. The email says that. We have new team members who are joining us, some named, some unnamed because, of anonymity reasons. And we have been working 10, 12-hour days for the past couple of days, and I would say 8-hour days and longer, for people who are essentially part time, working on this game for the last 3 weeks to convert it to UE55 to get everything prepped. And we have the first of what is many builds here. So the plan is to release on a much more aggressive cadence. So we plan a minimum of 10 to 15 builds this year alone. And not only that, we fully intend to finish all the Indiegogo M3 goals in the next 3 to 6 builds. Now, some of that will depend on you guys because we would like to art refresh a couple things. We want to art refresh well, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is the build, and you can see that we are in New Copa, and looks like, oh, we got people in here. Oh, Lantano, Salte, Hein, Jedi, Lomgren, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Uh, and you can see that we are in New Copa, but it's nighttime. We've switched to nighttime lighting here, and we're still fine tuning the lighting. It's a little too blue right now, and I posted some screenshots of this on X because people were saying for the longest time there was no demo, and obviously you guys know if there's been a demo, but there hasn't been an updated demo. That's true, but they never say that. They just say there's never ever been a demo, and you guys know that that's not true. So when I posted those screenshots, I have to tell you that it was insane. The response was insane. We got over 147,000 views on my tweet alone. I think Pirat Nation has easily another 150 on his. We have, well over 3 or 4K likes combined. And people were saying the nicest things. I know that, there's a lot of detractors out there, but I want you guys to know that people have our support. They want us to win. They want us to create a great game. And so this is the first, in a series of steps for that. And it's great to have the whole team back. It's great to see so many backers in this morning stream. Everyone was so excited. And why don't we just get started? So, first of all, no more white boxes. All right, you see this glitching with the Sihu? Ignore that. That's a bug with the thumper. But we have basically the art refresh for the Sihu is done. We have final Sihu art. We have final knee biter art. We have rocks here for the thumper call down that are actually some resources that you might recognize. We just scaled them up to replace the temporary rocks for now, but there are assets, right? Another thing I hear is like, oh my gosh, is this an asset flip game? It's like, no, it is not an asset flip game. These are our assets. The only thing is really the grass and some of these trees. We are on Unreal Engine 5.5 now. We are running lumen lighting, which is global illumination. And we have volumetric lights as well. We added these spotlights to the thumper for when he's mining for resources. And we have knee biters now. So these little guys, and they'll go attack the thumper and you gotta take them down. They are also final art from the art refresh. And we have a lot of people helping us that I can't even name. But if you want to, I textured these guys, these knee biters, but the guy who created them actually does monsters for Monster Hunter. Okay, so we have some really talented people that I have access to that have been very, very kind to help me on the project. And I can't even tell you the amount of people we have. Obviously, the Tihu themselves were created with Toshi, who's also one of our fantastic artists, but also someone who worked at Bandai Namco, working on Smash Brothers and a bunch of other things. And I can't tell you exactly which models they did, but it was some famous characters that you realize. So this is a quality team here. And we have so many developers that have reached out to me in private saying, hey, I want to help you out. And they're giving us great advice right now. And some of these people are X-WoW, X-Red 5. We have people that are extremely good at their field, on the server side of things, data center side of things, um, as well as world lighting. So they are going to be helping out and advising. I'm trying to get the best people together so that we can really put our best foot forward. Because, we have a lot of eyeballs on us now, a lot of scrutiny, uh, and that's both good and bad. I think that we're probably a name that most people know. Okay, these guys are freaking out here. And it's like I said, there's so many people that are just waiting to be to see us win, and so we have a lot of people in our corner, especially you guys, the community. Yeah, I see. Whenever the thumper comes down, these guys go crazy. The community, you guys have been so patient. I have to thank you. You guys have been so good to the dev team, to me, and we had a lot of challenges because we had people who are actively trying to stop us. People who actively want the game to fail, and they flooded our Discord server. I actually found out that they had sent hundreds of people into our Discord server to pose as interested people or interested parties, or even pose as backers of the game, deliberately sowing discontent. Now, that's not to say there wasn't a lot to be discontent about, right? But that's what we're fixing today with the build. That's what we're trying to do here today. But they were exacerbating it. They were deliberately fanning the flames, and it was all part of an ops organized from one particular Discord channel. So after clearing those out, I think you've seen Discord's a lot more pleasant to hang around in, and I think that they are, they're still around. There's still a couple in there, and they clipped this morning's show, and they're trying to find the worst moments of the game, and that's one reason that this stream isn't public yet, because it's not really for anybody else except you guys, the backers. It's not private, obviously. People will clip it, people screenshot it. I don't mind. I'm glad the word's getting out there because they are so salty about it right now because they didn't think this would ever happen, and so I'm okay with that. But I'm just glad that we are here now and we can do thumper encounters. We have a placeholder now that is no longer a white box for the plasma cannon. And you can see that while this is a marketplace asset, the plasma cannon, we're going to replace it with our own. So what is the goal here? The goal is, oh, before I get to that, new features. So the swarmers are very low performance costs. They are using animation sharing, and we can get a lot on the screen. The frame rate drop you see right now is from the Tsihu. So whenever these Tsihu spawn, they're on our, they're not using animation sharing yet. They're kind of halfway between our old animation system and our new animation system. And so they are slowing us down whenever they spawn in. But that's going to change too. But we're unifying everything on the new animation system. The thumper's on an old animation system, and when that happens, we should get a lot more performance. And there's two types of lag. One is render performance. So let me run you through a couple of hotkeys here. You can check the frame rate in the upper left, but you can also turn it off now with the F3 key. So I could toggle that on and off at will. And the other thing you could do is you could hide all of the UI. So if you want to take screenshots, you could do that now with F4. That's F3, F4, and then F5 basically hides chat. So if you don't want to see the chat window, you could just hit F5. So these are really convenient, but we're also adding a screenshot mode into the game pretty soon. Oops, dropship kind of got hung up there. All right, let's try over here. I'm going to scan for resources. Right over here. See what we get. So you remember it's C for call down menu, S for scan. And we'll find a node. then C, and then T. You can call down a thumper. There he is. And then the encounter starts. Should get the vortex soon. Yep, there it is. Let's see if we can get some swarmers, some fresh batch of swarmers in here. We can have a lot of knee biters on screen. The Tihu we can have less of right now, but we hope to get them to a place where we can have a lot of them too. And the goal is to, and the other thing is the expense of the animation system. So there's a lot of stuff under the hood that we've been replacing and unifying with our own technology, and which is much more performant and much more server friendly. But this we're getting close, guys. This is close to completion of the Indiegogo M3 milestone. Like I said, we want to get this completed in the next 3 to 6 milestones. So what's left? Well, we're going to tune the thumper encounter. We're going to fix these bugs. We're going to tune the waves. I'm not happy with the waves yet. I want them to be more aggressive. It's tuned too easy right now. The weapons do a little too much damage to these guys. And we need to get the shape shifting in, right? Because we promised that the Sihu would shape shift. Now, for those of you who've been following us for a long time, you know that I said that we probably weren't going to do the shape shift anymore, but we are being held to a very rigorous standard, and other people don't understand that why we made that decision. And then I thought about it and I thought, it actually would be pretty cool if we kept them in, but not all of them will shapeshift. What we'll do is we'll take some of the Tsihu and we'll make them a separate class of Tsihu, and they are a little bigger and maybe a different color, and they will be the ones that shapeshift. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you want to know what that's going to look like, that's going to look like the old model we had for their shape-shifting form in the I forget the art build where we had like all the platforms where we showed all the models we did. Now that is the last generation model, right? That's not part of the art refresh, and so that's really where you guys come in. It's like, listen, we haven't taken any funding here in 14 months because we wanted to deliver demos again, and now that we're starting to deliver demos again, and our team is even bigger with some great people on board, I want to get back to that. And I would like to do an art refresh on the Tihu humanoid, sorry, it's the Tihu beast mode, as well as the mini kaiju. Now, we never throw anything away. So we're just like with these Tihu, what we did with them, and I'm sorry they're flipping out here. The What we did with them is we took the original Tsihu model and then we sculpted on top of them to make them even better as a base. And so we want to do that with both the mini kaiju boss as well as their shape shifted form. That's really the goal here. Oh, guy way over there. And to do that, frankly, I'll just be forthcoming. We really could use your help. We really could use your help because it's been a very long time, and I've never asked for funding in 14 months, but I'm asking now. And the reason I'm asking now is because I want the art to be refreshed. I want to, get some more expertise on board and get some visual effects work done, some sound effect work done, and to finish M3 so that we can have the playable mock-up done very, very quickly. And so what we're doing to encourage people is we have created or are creating a founder drone. There will be an ability in the game where you can deploy a drone off of your shoulder, and it acts in sentry mode. It basically is a point defense drone, so maybe good against swarmers, things like that, firing lasers at creatures. And there is a standard model because everybody has this ability. It's not unique. We're not selling abilities or anything like that. But what's going to happen is if you buy a founder pack or you upgrade any founder pack, any newcomer pack, you will get a special model called the Founder Drone, which is unique. And not only that, if you go all the way to Arcliege, you will get the Chroma version of it. Now, this isn't just a JPEG. You will actually be able to use this drone in the next build. So basically, this is a real perk that you get right away that you could deploy in the game. And Ben and Em are working on auth so that auth can, the login system can recognize you and your rank. So recognize you as if you're an arc leech, recognize you if you're a shifter, and know what perks you have so that when you log into the game, you will have this special model drone if you have the pack. And if you're an arc leech, you will have the Chroma version of the drone. And and you will have that immediately. And we're talking another build in 3 to 4 weeks here. So it's not that very long away. We're going to build it all out, get it in there, and then you guys can be showing it off in build. And this is a way of saying, of both encouraging you guys who have been so faithful for so long. If you like what you see here, if you like the progress we're making, to give us a helping hand here and get us jump started again. And another incentive is that we're doing the packs and upgrades at 25% off. So literally, it's a huge deal. You guys know that 25% for us is a big discount, and this is your chance to grab a pack. Even an Arc Liege, it becomes very reasonable in comparison when you add that 25% discount in. Obviously, it's a lot of money, but it's well appreciated. And to give you a sense, and so basically we want to do that. And the other thing is we could really use your subscriptions. The packs pay for contractors and artists because when we farm art out, we try to keep costs very reasonable, and I call in favors and stuff to give you an idea. To do the arsenal in oh, this is my favorite part, the pickup. To do the arsenal in Firefall, that was $250,000. Okay. That was 10 people, $250,000 between all the programming, art, and everything else. We don't pay those rates. Okay. We pay much lower rates. And we do it with and the reason is we do it with less people. So we're trying to be really efficient. I contribute a lot to, say, like the texturing, so we don't have to pay someone to texture the models and all this stuff. But to get like the art refresh done is still thousands of dollars. And so a lot of the packs, they go towards that. The subscriptions, though, they go towards the monthly cost of maintaining everything about the game, and that's keeping the lights on. That's the servers. That's the every piece of software we use is on a monthly subscription. Every service we use, like source control, every service we use, like encrypted data storage and emails and all that, it all adds up. And just monthly alone, those expenses are like $1,500 to $2,000 per month. And so subscriptions go to that, and also the packs, go towards the contractors to do all the various things that we need to do. So, I'm saying, if you like what we're doing, and so far the response has been tremendous. I can't thank everyone enough for their positivity and everything else that we've seen all throughout today, both on social media and on here. And the response has just been so good. And if you like it, come back and subscribe. And we're going to give you an incentive for subscriptions, where the last 4 months of skins we will push to your account later this week in a batch process. If you sign up as a new subscriber this week, we will go ahead and give you those skins. And there's 4 skins available. Unfortunately, I did not have screenshots of them ready at the time. Maybe somebody in chat does. If you do, please post it. We have improved ragdoll in these guys. So we have a new developer, Neo, who set that up. You've seen him in chat before. Talking to another Red Fiverr. I won't reveal who their name is, who's looking to help us with visual effects if we can, get our ducks in a row for funding and all of that stuff. But he's willing to help us with things. I don't want to say what he's going to work on because one of the things he's working on is going to be great for the M3 milestone, the playable prototype, and I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. So hopefully that comes together. And like I said, we have great artists from everywhere that are willing to chip in and help, and to do it at very reasonable rates as a favor to me. So I'm very appreciative of that. And there is a decision. So when we have the playable mock-up done, which is going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 builds from now, obviously there might be a little polish phase after that. The email sort of dictates what the war plan is. Then we have to decide if we're going to go Kickstarter or not Kickstarter. And the reason for that is things have changed. Kickstarters don't work that great for video games, but they do generate a lot of publicity. So that's one potential reason in the pro column to actually do a Kickstarter. But the other thing that we might do is we're switching to making the milestones smaller and more explicit in the web retheme. M has been planning to work on the web retheme that I already designed it out. I already prototyped it. It's already coded up in mock-up form, and it's going to start to break the project down into smaller bite-sized chunks so that we don't get caught up in this sort of we bit off more than we could chew type of situation that we did in the past. And it's going to have very concrete deliverables in very short time frames, and there'll be packs for each of those with some unique perks. And for each of those milestones, basically you can get unique things and they fund the milestone, and then we go on to the next. And that's kind of what's going to be in place of what people have been asking for, is like a roadmap potentially. Instead of having a roadmap, we would have these milestones laid out on the website, and you guys will potentially also participate in defining the priorities of some of those milestones. Now, most of the features are going to be what we call the critical path, the core of what we need uh, beyond playable mockup to get to a completed game. And then there will be options like, hey, what weapon should we focus on this milestone as an example, right? And you guys would get to vote on that on the website as to which of those optional features you would like prioritized. And those will be weighted by your pack and your subscription tier, because we're going to have a couple of subscription tiers, and I'll explain that in a second later on. And by voting, Archlegious would have a lot of weight, Kahunas would have a lot of weight, uh, and then everyone would have a vote who's a backer, and subscribers would get weights, and we would use that and sort of and make development more interactive, get you guys more involved. You guys remember when we brought the website up? That is another big thing. I did that in stages, and I had the Archlegious come in and test first, and they did a tremendous job, and we fixed a bunch of bugs, and then we brought it down to like shifters, and then we went all the way, and when we let all the backers in, that testing out really worked very well. And I think that level of hey, you get a little bit of early participation and also early discussion with me about features and bugs or whatnot. I'd like to promote that more and get more community involvement. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. And the website, the reason it took so long, I want to address this, is we're switching partners. I'm happy to announce that we have partnered with Rumble Cloud of Rumble Video, and they are hosting our entire data center now. This game server, all the way up to the websites and the back end and a bunch of systems that support our development that aren't even accessible to the public. And I know the CEO, and he's been wanting me to come over for a while, but their technology wasn't quite ready till just recently. And so we switched over from using Amazon AWS to Rumble Cloud, and we're saving money in the process. AWS was getting really expensive and they have very strange billing structures with a lot of hidden fees. And so you never know. One month you could be paying $670, and another month you could be paying $450, and it was never predictable. Rumble is easily about, I would say, a cost savings of 30% or more, and it's fixed. You always know what you're going to pay every month. It doesn't float around, and that's a lot better for a small developer like us. So they're very happy to have us on board, and we're really happy to have them as a partner. But we had to change everything about how our backend worked because for those of you in web, you probably know this. AWS has a lot of services that they provide, and that's kind of how they hook you in because they have to you use their services and everything you code is dependent on it. And so when you switch data centers, you have to do this. You have to rewrite everything basically on the back end. And so M was doing this part time, and that's why it took longer than we expected. And so I'm really glad to have that back up. We're not taking any new signups right now. We're only focusing on backers. And the reason we're focusing on backers, anyone who's ever subbed before, even if they're not a current sub, anybody who's a current subscriber, anybody who's ever backed a milestone or bought a pack has access and nobody else does. And that's because we want to make you guys happy first. You guys are the original stakeholders. You guys are the original believers, and that is who we want to make really, really happy. And not just 100% happy, 200% happy. I really want to make sure you guys are taken care of, and that's the main focus. And so let's see, that explains the website. Let's see, what else have we covered? All right. Oh, thank you for posting those skins. And you do get those 4 skins. We'll push it in a batch if you resubscribe this week, because that's what we're really looking for. We're looking for that because I've been paying out of pocket. So basically, some people are like, "Oh, you're monetized on X." It's like, yeah, I make a little bit on X, but you know what? It's going towards the game. Like I'm paying the server bills. So. What I'd like to do is to get back to the point where it's self-sustaining and we have enough subscribers that those bills just take care of themselves and it's not a problem. But to do that, we really need you guys. And I know that we've been radio silent here for a long time, but that's because we were regrouping. And you guys know I've had personal issues in my life with the kids' health and stuff like that. Thankfully, that's all over. But now is the time to rebuild. I say 2025 is the time to rebuild, and we are hitting it very, very hard. We've been working extremely hard on this, and I see some bugs here, and we're going to be hitting those very, very hard so we can squash them for the next build. And the next build will have the Founder drone in it. Oh, the other thing we did is there was a lot of clipping on the grass or draw in. We tripled the distance, so you can actually see much farther in, and the pop in is a lot more subtle, and it looks a lot better. Uh, the other thing we're doing is we are going to be doing a new level. This is still new Copa. It's just got different lighting on it, right? We want to try nighttime lighting. Those of you who are old-time Firefall players remember the dark that we had in the beta. This isn't quite as dark, but it has that nighttime feel. There will be a new map. It will probably be the volcanic ice that we've talked about for a long time, which is native to the planet. That's another thing is that we're no longer going to call it Ember because unfortunately some trolls, it was always the working name, right? Because you guys were like, Em-8ER, how do we pronounce it? And so I wanted to choose a name that was much more pronounceable. So we didn't take any extra steps to like register a federal trademark or anything like that. But what they did was because they were so triggered by me, they went and created a game on Steam, a porno game, and called it the exact same thing. And that prevents us from ever marketing it that way, which I don't really mind because we're going to change the name, but it puts us in a position where we have to change the name sooner rather than later. So we've got to go and register a federal trademark and get new logos done. And unfortunately, that's going to cost too, because just filing a mark is $500, and then you have to pay along the way a lawyer because you get challenges to the marks and paperwork from the office over the course of 6 months to a year that you have to respond to. So we won't be revealing the name of the new name of the game until that paperwork is done and we've secured the mark. We also have to redo logo redesign, and I've got a great logo guy. He did the Emperor logo, and he's going to be doing the logo for the new name. But you know, we have to do a little mini milestone for him too, because even at his discounted rates, we're talking over $1,000, right? Because it's not just doing a single graphic image. There's a vector image. There's all so it's resolution independent, and there's all sorts of like variations of the logo for like icons and things like that. So, you know, brand design is the whole thing. You do a whole set of things. So, despite all that, I have been very blessed to have a team that believes in me, and everyone has been volunteering their time and working very hard. And we have been working on the game, and essentially on a volunteer basis. And so that's been fantastic. And I've been in there too. We're all firing together. We're on calls. Sometimes we co-program 10-hour calls where we're on the same call for with each other going over everything. It's been really cool actually. It's been a really fun way to work, and I'm enjoying the development process a lot. Let's see. I'm going to check chat here at this point, see how you guys are doing. How are you guys doing? How's the vibe? How you feeling? I have so many people sending me positive support messages on social media saying, "Hey, I just saw the screenshots today. Looks really great. How can I get involved? How can I back?" And I say, "Well, we're not taking any new backers right just yet because I want to squash these bugs and I want to like get a little bit more polish in here before we do." The vibe is epic, says Shadow Ink Designs. Hey, nice to see you. Carmack says, "I'm finishing dinner." Okay, at least you have chicken. Insmail says, "Really digging everything." Awesome to hear. Do you guys normally are you guys more available at this hour versus like the 11 o'clock that we normally do chief chats? And these are going to be regular things, by the way. Whenever we have a build, we'll do a chief chat, and I'll try to do more than one so that we get as much coverage as possible. You need explosions, Shelly? Well, that's one thing. So if we get my former Red 5 guy on board, he can go ahead and start working on the visual effects. You'll notice that we have some artifacts at night where dust clouds and things like that don't react to nighttime. They stay fully bright. Like if I slide, you can see that that looks totally artificial at nighttime. So we want to tune all that up and get it polished for the playable mockup. So playable mockup, to refresh everyone's memory, was supposed to be single player, but we have multiplayer, we have chat, we have resource collection. That was supposed to be a later thing. It was supposed to be the Thumper encounter, single player. You fight one type of Sihu enemy. There weren't even swarmers, and they shapeshift into a beast form that we're going to add, and then at the end of the encounter, as a stretch goal, you could go ahead and fight a sort of mini boss. And so that's it. That's the whole playable mockup. And we're like I said, in the next 3 to 6 builds, really aggressive, we'll get that in there. Even if I have to use the old models, we'll get it in there. And and then we'll be done. We'll be done, and then we take the decision: do we go to Kickstarter, or do we break it up into micro milestones and keep going? I think the milestone way might actually be the way forward. So you see, when the thumper is gone, these guys act normal. It's really weird. So we did a lot of lighting on the Omni frames too. We're running Mega Lights, which is Unreal's new technology that lets you run hundreds and hundreds of lights in a scene without performance penalty. And so we added some edge lighting to the weapons. So even if I go into the dark here, oops, we gotta fix that camera. Even if I go into the darkness here, there's still a glint of highlight on the guns and stuff like that. Even on the Omni frame, that you can see that they get some form of lighting here, so they don't completely disappear. There's a lot of subtle stuff like that that goes into making these games. Even Firefall didn't do stuff like that. So that's all been fun to play with. Um, Getting their physics and ragdolling working again, that was also fun to play with. We've just been having a good time, and we want to share that joy. The whole dev team, we're in chat, we're talking, we're chatting, we're solving problems together, and it just felt really, really good. And then we get to play what we made, and that has been all sorts of I don't know. It's just I've been feeling really, really good lately, just to see all this happen and to see all of you guys here all throughout the day. Everyone is back. It's so nice to see. And, there's a couple people I really want to thank. One is the community team, which has just dealt with so much this year as we got brigaded and invaded by this other Discord. And I'm really grateful to Faye. I'm really grateful to Ronan. I'm grateful to Salty. I'm grateful to everybody who has stuck around through all of that and continue to be moderators and have been very good today, just helping us out here with three multiple streams on very short notice. They thought I was going to do one, but then I was like, no, people are saying they can't make other ones. So you don't have to come. You don't have to be moderators, but they did anyways. And so they're here now. And thank you very much. The other one is Neo, who you guys have seen in chat. He has a developer tag now. We are outing him as a developer. He's been fantastic working on the animation system stuff. And those glitches aren't him. So the glitches you see, that's not when we run single player or in the client or under low server load. There's something going on that we haven't figured out yet, but we'll be working on it very, very hard. I want to thank Harry, who's our, sort of mastermind whenever we have a really tough Unreal problem or a client server problem. He's the guy that can figure it out. He's been great. He makes all the builds. I want to thank M on the website of stuff, who not only just handles our web stuff and got the new website up and running and is doing the retheme, but also, handles our server deployment. She's very good in data center stuff. And so whenever we need to deploy builds or anything like that, she's always there at odd hours helping us out. So I want to thank her too. Just so many people have helped. Ben has helped on the auth issue recently. He's been fantastic. It's just been really heartwarming. So, and yeah, I just wanted to take a moment and thank everybody. And I have so much gratitude. I'm so very grateful for everyone who has rallied, completely rallied this year, to get us back on track and make a commitment here to make this game happen. And the community, you guys especially. And Hein, man, those blockouts are awesome. They save us so much time when I start to model the new medium omni frame, because we're going to refresh the art on the medium omni frame and get hard driver mode into there. The other thing that we're working on is finishing up the characters. The characters are pretty good, the new ones, right? The Felly Gate Strider, but the hair is really bothering me. The hair is super plastic, and her and makeup work isn't the best. Same with the guy, right? So I want to get them a new texture, and I want to get them a better hair model. And I got some quotes from some supporters who DM'd me, said, "Hey, what do you need?" And they're cutting me a deal. But even then, it's like just getting that done is like 3 or 4 or 5 grand, depending on what we do. So the other thing that we're doing is we're going to be enhancing the waifus, and I know that makes some of you groan, but and by enhancements I mean adding jiggle bones for thigh, butt, things like that. Maybe getting a boob slider in there. Uh, there's no character customization for the playable mock-up that was never promised. But we have to prepare the model in certain ways before we commit to too much programming on them. So we'll do some refinement on them. And I told you guys years ago, I said waifus are the wave of the future. And now and I said if you pair a waifu with a mech, it's like catnip, and that's been proven true by just the phenomenal popularity of Mecha Break, as well as games like Stellar Blade and even First Descendant. So they're doing very well with that. It is a something that people enjoy now, and so we want to make sure that our models are, we can't compete with their $50 million budgets, but we can do a good job at making sure that our males and females in the game look good when they're outside the Omni frame. So what's after playable mockup? Well, once we have characters running around, which is part of the playable mockup, we'll be in a good position to do light frames. That firefall feeling type of thing. We'll be in a good position to do things like home, where you're outside of your mech and you're walking around and you can get missions and you're in orbit. These are some of the potential future milestones after the playable mockup that I'd like to get to, and that I'd like to have individual tight, concise funding goals for, so that we can hit it step by step. And we'll let you know the budgets, we'll let you know how much we need, and we'll list out precisely what the goals are, and we'll keep them small. And that's my goal, and I think that's realistically the way we're going to go until we're a little farther along, and then it might make more sense to do a Kickstarter when we are more feature complete. How does that sound to you guys with the milestones and things, or Kickstarter? Where are you guys, where are you guys heads on that? Sounds good to you, Quadrana? Uh, Gene says both are viable. I think so, but I think we need a little more than a playable mockup. Caden says, I wish we weren't changing the name. I liked Ember. I know a lot of people liked Ember. It's unfortunate that there are just dicks in the world that will go so far as to do things like that. But we won't make that mistake a second time, and it's a chance to make the game something that makes more sense to people who don't know what the genre is. Emberfall. That's a good one, Gene. Uh, Insmall says, if it's possible, avoid Kickstarter, then sure, why not? Yep, that's a potential thing. How many people we have in Chief Chat right now, mods? I'm trying to get a feel for the numbers. So we had 50 plus in the morning. 42? That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming and hanging out and playing the game with us. Uh, it's we have always had one of the strongest communities I've ever seen for a game, and you know what? I owe it to you guys to do this. So that's why we're doing this demo today. That's why we are committed to finishing the mock-up in 3 to 6 additional builds. That's why we're doing the founder drones. That's why we're doing the 25% off. Is we want you guys back, and we need your help. We're working really hard. You guys have seen me in Discord up to 2 a.m. sometimes, chatting away. That's because we're working behind the scenes. So yeah, I'll be frank, we really need your help. If we're gonna keep this momentum, we're gonna keep this pace. Please resubscribe if you're not already subscribed. please purchase a founder pack or please upgrade a founder pack. And when you upgrade it, you get the bonus of the drone pet. And this is really what's gonna make it possible, right? We're here, we're willing, we're working very hard, and we want to deliver excellence to you. And I think the new art looks so much better than what we had before. I think you can see that this has a much greater level of polish than previous builds. And yes, we have some bugs, and apparently, as the longer the server has gone on today, the more the bugs tend to surface. So maybe we've got a memory leak on the server, but we're going to squash those, and we're working super hard for you guys, and you deserve it because we owe it to you. And but hopefully you guys can appreciate that too, and we can achieve this together, and we can show everybody that they're wrong. We can show everybody that we've got a great game here. People say the movement is great and fantastic, and we want to show them that they have no leg to stand on, and that Embers are going to be a great indie game. And that's the feeling today. In tweets that got really popular today, people want to see us succeed. We have a lot of people that are just waiting for us to show more and more of the game, to join us as backers one day when we open it up again to the general public. That's been really heartening. It's been a long, very difficult war, but we are winning, and I'm very buoyed and excited by the progress we've made just recently. And it's been intense. We haven't let up. We're constantly working on stuff. Yay, it's a tower. The lights on the Omni frames just look cool to me, especially when you see them stacked like that. And can you imagine if there are like bases out there one day that they're just twinkling away in the night with mega lights? I think that would be really cool. And I love the new models. I love the way the CU came out. I enjoyed texturing him. I enjoyed texturing the spawner. I'm going to be building the medium Omni frame, the new one. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. So one way we can make it up to you guys is, and to show you our gratitude, is we're going to start delivering backer rewards sooner rather than launch. You know how a lot of the milestones, all the milestones say that these perks are only at launch. Well, I want to start delivering on the ones that make more sense. Don't ask me to come up there. You guys know I can never do the totem. So things like the OmniFrame banner on the back, I want to get that in there sooner rather than later, right? And there's some other things I have planned that I'm talking to the team about. I'm like, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. But the first thing that'll be there is the little founder drone we have. Okay, so the founder drone that we have. Don't ask me to do this while I'm talking. The founder drone that we had. All right, let's get here. I double tap and then I overshoot. Is something that we're going to deliver on right away. So get some fuel. Nope, that one. Almost. I did it! I did it! I'm top of the totem pole. Tiki Tower. Commence firing. Oh my gosh, I haven't been able to do that on a stream in forever. This is the way we fight the kaiju. All right, I'm going to check chat here while we're doing this tower. How is everyone doing? Okay, Shelly. Shelly says, here's to hoping it is a cosmetics drone. Let me explain how it works. It is not a pure cosmetic. Think of it this way. When you build your Omni frame in the future, we're talking way future, right? You can slot different abilities into it and different upgrades, like you can in Armored Core, right? One of them is you can add the Sentinel ability, And when you add the Sentinel ability, you get that drone that pops up. So everyone has that ability. What we're talking about with the founders version of it that we are offering this week at 25% off is that if anybody buys a pack, buy a second pack if you like. For Arc Legions, they're like, how can I do that? Well, you already get it automatically, but if you want to support it, buy another pack. You can gift it later, and you get the Founder drone, and that is a skin. So you have the ability spawns a standard drone, but when you get the skin, your model changes. It's a completely different model for that. And then when you have the Chroma version, then that at the Arc Leech level or upgrading to the Arc Leech level, then that gives you the Chroma variant of that. So that's what we're talking about here. So it's a cosmetic, but it ties to an ability. And I guess I should have called it an ability cosmetic. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Make sense now? Yeah, you're just paying for pretty lights. So it's an ability skin. I don't know if do games have ability skins? Are we the first? I'm trying to think of another MMO that has it. Gliding looks so cool at night. Yeah, character creator is too far out, but frame customization, we can talk about it. We can decide. Arc Lieges, we can have a council of Arc Lieges too, where we have a Discord server, and then we can have other ones too. So we're gonna be dividing this out and try to get a little more participation. It's not creative control. It's not anything like that. It's just a chance to talk to me. It's just a chance to give me your ideas for even perks. It's like, hey, it'd be cool to have this perk or that perk in the next pack. Because when we did that with the community, that was cool, pretty cool. And then, so what'll happen is we'll let everyone get a crack at this, right? And ultimate, so but think about it as like I'll confer with Arc Legions, we'll chat about it. And then from there, it'll go out in the open for general feedback, and then you guys all get to weigh in on it, that type of thing. I just wanted to get more community participation where we can, because that was really fun when we've done it in the past, and I think this is a good way to reward the people who have put so much faith in the project, and to get their voices heard. And it's a chance about fun stuff, right? We're not going to sit. It's not a complaint forum. It's not. It's like I'll have strict topics like, okay, let's pick another weapon or let's pick another perk for this pack. What do you guys think? And we'll generate a bunch of ideas, and then I'll come to you guys during a general chief chat or something, or we'll do it through our milestone voting system, and then you guys can go from there and get your way in. All right, so um, okay, Gene says you can pay for cosmetics on attacks and missiles and railguns. Not that I have an upgrade railguns in Elite Dangerous or anything. They're not purple, I swear. Okay, Gene. Shelley says, imagine a drone swarm of missile vomiting pile bunker wielding berserker drones. That would be pretty cool. You mean as an ability? Drone swarm surrounds your enemies with funnels from Gundam. Undead Psych says, Rainer asked, you mentioned sub tiers at the beginning. Did I miss you going more into that? It was during the part about voting on milestones and higher backer packs that would weigh more, and also different sub tiers would be weighted differently. But as of right now, there is only one sub tier. I know it was mentioned long ago that the price would go up with the current subscriptions being grandfathered. Have you haven't heard anything about the subs changing in a long time till today. Yeah, instead of raising the price, we might just tier it out, because that works very well for Patreon. If you look at the way that Patreon is monetized, they offer different tiers with different perks. That is something we're strongly considering, if I can make it work. If I can think of what the value would be at those tiers. So that's not a definite, but that's something we're considering. All right. Well, we are coming up on the hour. I try to keep these to an hour to preserve my voice and to keep them concise, but I'm not disappearing. I'm hanging out here for a little bit. If you guys have a couple questions, I can take them now, and no rush. And I'm just, If you don't mind, I'm just chilling here because it has been a long day. We were up very late last night prepping this build, getting the emails out, and only backers got the emails. Only people who had backed or been subscribers who were no longer subscribers, because that's our first priority. Not everybody else. Everybody else who's just on the mailing list, they can come later. Uh, we want to take care of you first. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve 100% of our focus, 100% of our attention, and that's what we want to give you. All right. So Salty has posted common fact for drones. Do I have to upgrade to get the drone, or is it already applied to my current backing tier? No, I'll be completely honest, it's an incentive to help support the game so we can jumpstart this new momentum. Pay off some of the art debt that we have here, and to get going again. So if you to get the pack, you must buy a pack or a newcomer pack or upgrade any of your packs, newcomer packs, in order to qualify for that. Let me get my iPad out because chat's scrolling by too fast, and I'm losing the question. So, other questions on the Founder Drone pack. What does it do exactly? Shoot or lasers? Any extra abilities? Does it float or is it attached? It will hover off your shoulder. You guys ever play Phantasy Star Online? What do they call the little things that float off your shoulder? I kind of envision it like that currently, and it's going to fire pew pew lasers, like targeted laser beams that will go out and lash out against targets, and they're mainly for point defense. So they're not very strong, but they would be good against keeping swarmers off of you while you're trying to, take out a major enemy or that sort of thing. Another question about the drone: if I gift a backer pack to someone, do they get the drone at a later date too? For example, gifting someone a pack 5 months from now. The drone stays with you. So the drone is your gift for supporting us and upgrading the pack. And when you gift that pack to someone else, they get the pack, but you don't transfer the drone. Another question: how long do I have to subscribe to qualify for the previous 4 months, including when I resub? Immediately. Anybody who's resubscribing this week, we will push the 4 skins to in a batch process, and you could cancel the next month and get 4 extra skins for it. You could totally game the system that way if you so choose. I hope that you don't, because you stick around and you get the next build and the founder drones are in and everyone's really happy. But you could, if you wanted to game the system, do it that way. And honestly, I can't hold it against you. If you're unhappy after 1 month of subscription, do what you need to do. Shelly says, quick, honey lemon tea and ginger candy for Grums. Yes, my voice is definitely going out. Pigeonhole, do you have a rough idea of what you had for development costs so far for the entire project, if that's not confidential? You know what it is? It's time. It's just been the time that's been put in. Um, and if we don't go fast, it's more expensive. And we haven't been going fast, so I think it's cost more than I'd liked. And I would like to go faster so it costs less. I hope that explains it. Undead Psycho says, since Ember is on UE5, I was wondering what your opinion is on Threat Interactive. I have seen Threat Interactive's video. You know what? It is what it is. It's how you use it, and it's what issues people have. And you guys are playing the build and giving me feedback all the time. And, so basically, if there's a problem, I'm going to know about it because you guys are going to be very, very vocal and tell me that there's a problem with performance or whatever. And then, that's what we're going to go fix. So I think that we're not in the position where we launch an unoptimized game, because all along the way we're going to have feedback versus a regular game that's in development for a long time and they're running on internal systems that are great, and then they put it out in the world and it runs like crap on people's regular systems. No, I always ask you guys, how's it running on your system? What card do you have? I do a lot of that. So I think he's basically blaming Unreal And because it's a generalized solution, and to some degree, he's right that there are trade offs in performance versus a highly specific solution. But on the other hand, if you pay attention to performance and you have regular feedback from a wide number of users with a variety of hardware, I don't think it's that big of an issue as he's making. All right. Fate says, what about for shifters? Upgrading to Arc Liege is very expensive, and I don't really have a use for an extra pack of lower tier. Uh, I don't know what to tell you, Fate. Thank you for being a shifter, first of all. Um, if we sold the drones separately, what we would probably it would probably be $35, $25. That's not too far off from the lowest pack right now. I think the lowest pack at 25% off is under $30, right? So or around that. So if you really want to get the to buy it as if it were a separate pet, then you could. It's more than a pet; it's an ability skin, right? Then just buy one of the discounted packs, which are 25% off right now, and you're really talking about $1 or two difference from what it would be if we had put it into the general store. Yes, Skillsies mags. That's what they were called in Fantasy Star Online. Thank you. Shelly says, "Will there be a voice pack for the drone to make it sound like a parrot?" No, Shelly. Sorry. Gene says, "Mags, that's what they're called." Yes. Lantano says, "For everyone's benefit, how long is the sale upgrade perk going to run?" The sale is for 7 days, and I'm kind of sloppy with that. So it's usually got a couple hours to 24 hours after that. But the 25% off sale is for 7 days. The upgrade perk is going to be for the entire month of April. So the founder, that's the other thing. The founder drone is a 30-day thing, right? So we're going to turn off that incentive upgrade after that. So if you want to get it, now is the time. Zab says foreskins is a very unfortunate new meme. Oh no. Like assless chaps who did it again. Leandri says, would you be open to allow backers to transfer their drone later down the line if they have multiple? Yeah, I'd be open to that. We can potentially make them giftable. That's just a toggle that we could turn on. So if you wanted to make your drone skin giftable, let me ask Em about that. Since it is a separate gift item, I will find out for you. Salty, thanks for the clarifications. You're welcome. Undead Psycho, thanks for the answer. You're welcome. Tyrion Dusk, what is it? I'd be interested in Grum's take. Okay, thanks for the answer. I gave my take. Titan Tier, do we get the 25% with upgrade? Yes, upgrades are 25% off. Let me make that clear. It's not just the packs. The upgrade itself is 25% off. So it's the price difference calculation. And we do it a specific way, but we've done it before, and it's the way that it's not new code or anything. It's always been the way that we've done it. Whew. Okay, I think I'm through most of the questions here. I see some furious typing by Lantano, Zab, and Insmal. I'll wait for those, but after this, I am going to get some ginger ale or tea or I don't know, whatever you guys recommend. A lemon drop. Been talking all day. Although it's been great. So first claimer Lantano asked, so just to make sure this is clear, if I upgraded one of the lower tier packs that I have that I am planning on gifting to a friend, the drone would stay with me. Well, if you upgrade a pack, that pack changes. So it's not like you keep the lower grade pack, right? But the drone is separate. So if you upgrade one of your lower packs, you get the drone in your inventory, and Arc Legions can already confirm this for you. They have them in their accounts. If you upgrade it, you can gift that pack, and the pet is going to stay with you, the drone. Yep. Zab, are you planning any community contests or events this summer? Just looking forward to the lure? I haven't thought about that. When's the official start of summer? I grew up in countries that didn't have seasons, but a summer thing would be fun. But our main focus is the playable mockup, wrapping that up, and we're getting close. Quadrana, love the cheap chat. Going to get up early for work tomorrow, and keep up the great work, y'alls, and good night. Thank you very much, Quadrana, and have a good day at work. Have a good sleep, and then a good day at work. Insmall says, yeah, if you log into the site and you look at the upgrades, it'll show you the prices with the discount. Yep, the prices are discounted. Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. Tea and honey works wonders, says Lantano. Thank you, Lantano. Zab, on an unrelated note, I'm super curious what Rumble is doing about building their physical server infrastructure that's closer to my business. Zab, I don't know. M knows more about that than I do. But they obviously have a very good infrastructure because they serve video and they do streaming, right? And you can't do that if you have junior level people assembling your data centers. Shelly asked, story time with Grums. Will we get those again? I am working on a redraft to the fiction. I've gotten better at writing, and I know where I want to take the story a little more. There will be some changes to the structure of the story, and let me know which are your favorite characters. They're all going to be around. The characters will be around, but I'm kind of curious which ones people liked. Pigeonhole says, I'm looking forward to more active development and baby step milestones. Yeah. So we put out the milestone. We say, this is how much we want to raise. We raise the money, we go do it, and we deliver it in a much shorter time frame. That is the goal. It looks like we need to send out an additional email clarifying the founder drone upgrade stuff. So I will take those questions. I'll write out something, and then we'll go ahead and do it. And it looks like the server needs a reset. These guys really shouldn't be doing this. Oh, someone dropped a thumper. That's why. Yeah, that's not server lag. That is some weird interaction with dropping a thumper and the see who animations. Because when there's a rift, they don't do that. All right. Thank you all very much. This has been a wonderful day connecting with everybody again. I'm so glad I did three, even though my voice is totally given out. I'm so glad I did three so I could meet everybody again. And yeah, please come back to Discord and hang out. I'm here every day. I say good morning almost every single. I don't think I've missed a morning. Maybe I missed one, but I'm here all the time, and I'm responsive. And also, come back to subscriptions. Come back and help us support the game. You know, $7.95 goes a really long way. You would not believe how far it goes to helping us out. And then if you want to get the drone and buy a pack and support what we're doing and let us do even more, and you know, do a get the art refresh on the beasts. Otherwise, we'll just use them as is. But if you want them up to the quality of the Tihu and stuff, please buy a pack, you know, and also help us jumpstart this process. Like I said, I'd like to take care of some of the loans we took out for the art refresh because we did a lot, and you know, between the humanoid characters and everything else, and we are nearly done with paying those off, so that would help us out there too. But we are back. We are stronger than ever. The team is really united. The team is bigger than it ever was, in terms of available man hours, right? So I think that we have a lot more time availability from people who have been working part time on the project, and it's been a really strong couple of weeks, and will continue to be a really strong year, I believe. It's just been an amazing time working together with them, and an amazing time together working together with you. I see Ronan's here, so I'll have him deep strike us out. But for me, I'm going to take off for now and say thank you once again.
I am so glad I was able to catch the end of the Chief Chat and spend another minute with you guys. I love this freaking community. I'm so glad you're still here. I am still here. Actually, as you know, I've never left. So you've been stuck with me. You're still stuck with me. It ain't changing. I ain't going anywhere. That's right, Salty. Yeah. Big thank you to Grums for keeping the fires burning. Okay. Well, I'm just. And until next time. Deep strike!